Good morning. Yes, I promise this is a video about the antique Singer sewing machine and the buttonhole foot, but it's taken me a little while to get to it because of all of this that I'm showing you here. Yeah, so my front yard is in construction for a garden, and there has been a whole lot of noise associated with it, and for that reason I have had to put off making this video until a day like today, which is a Saturday, wherein I do not have a whole bunch of clinking and clanking and pounding and noise, you know, that would come over through onto the video. So, but here is the subject for today while I close the door. All right, so this is a 1940s Singer Buttonholer. It comes with 5 templates. I have bought extra ones though. It also comes with a case. This is the particular case that I have. You can kind of see it there. And it has, so there's a few more templates in there, and then there's the foot plate. So one of the interesting things is I did manage to get a hold of one of these, which is, yes, it's a template, but it is very specifically the eyelet template, which is fairly rare. They made the templates that go with this for quite some time because they also made later editions of the buttonholer foot that used the same templates as this, the earlier version. Just in case you need to know, there's the information on the bottom. This is the part number 160506. So this one is one of the ones from the 1940s. They did make some really spacey looking ones in the 60s too, and all of them used the same sort of cams or templates as these. I do believe this one, you can see, it's a little different color. Still metal though. I think this is newer than these ones or the ones that came with my buttonholer foot. They also had extra little, you know, boxes of extra ones and stuff. So I had to source different lots to kind of fill out my collection so that I have all the different ones. But yeah, so some of mine are new, some of mine are old, but the buttonholer, this one is from the 40s. They work with low shank machines such as the Singer treadle that we're going to be working on today, and I will show you how that goes. All right, give me a second to set up, and I'll be right back with you. All right, we are partially set up. So first thing that you need to do is, I showed you that plate that was in the box, right? So that's this right here. You can see that it covers the feed dogs, which would be right here, and it screws in here. So you want to be very, very careful when placing the plate because the needle does need to go through this hole here. So what I like to do is place the plate carefully, lower the needle, make sure it goes through the hole without touching any of the sides, and then screw the screw in. Please do be careful because, I mean, you really don't want your needle hitting the sides of that plate at all. And you can't use the buttonholer without this. This deliberately covers the feed dogs because the buttonholer moves the fabric, not the sewing machine at this point. And that's because these are all straight stitch machines, right? So the needle doesn't move side to side the way you can do like a zigzag stitch on a regular machine. So the buttonholer is designed to move the fabric back and forth because the needle doesn't move. But in order to let the buttonholer do that, you have to have the cover plate on, and it needs to be secure. See, I am actually pushing kind of hard on, oh no, it budged. So I'm going to screw it in a little bit tighter. Here, I'll put you down for just a second. Since I moved it, now I have to align it again. That's fine. You can watch me do it. It's a little bit over to the side. There. Yeah, that should be all right. So let's tie tighten it down. I don't feel like it's moving, so the screwdriver is not short enough to quite fit, so I was using the thing just by itself. There we go. All right. So it doesn't move side to side anymore, so it should allow the buttonholer to do its job. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to set up the buttonholer itself. So let me take a look here. Got back on over here. Just a second. See if I can get some more visual for you guys. All right, so this is the underside. It's got a little latch here. So if you pull it, it'll come out a little bit. I've already got a cam in there, so I'm going to switch it out though, so I can show you. This one happens to be a, let's see, 15/16 straight cam. You know what, we're going to swap it out for the oh so elusive, you know, this guy, the eyelet cam. So you see it's got the gears here on the front, right? And it's got a gear in here. So the idea is, actually it goes this way. So I had trouble with this the first time. If your cam is not fitting in, this whole plate here that's connected to this, it all slides and moves around. Do you see that? I'm sorry. So it'll all slide. It'll also slide front and backwards too, because this is the piece that moves dependent on what gear, what cam you're using. So the gear here needs to go on the bottom side here, and so I had to slide that plate to get it in there, and it has to sit flush. Sort of wiggle it a little bit, and there it goes. It's now sitting flush. So we're going to close it up. Good. Yeah, see? The little latch came in place. And now we'll go right on over here. And now we can attach it to the machine. All right, so so this bit here, this is the screw, and it goes in, it screws to this hole here. And this bit here, this fork, it slides over this guy here, the like the little knob thing. It's a little bit tricky to align both parts at the same time, I'm not gonna lie. So it is kind of a do your best and fill until you've got it in place. There we go. See? So the fork is on, right? And the needle hole, or the screw holes, are lined up. And yes, the whole thing, the whole apparatus kind of floats a little bit. It's not exactly sitting on the ground. So align the holes. Oh, there we go. And tighten this down. You can kind of feel how it cinches into place and it's not going anywhere. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is, you know, and I'm just going to demonstrate this. It floats, all right? Like, it's not sitting on the ground. I also want you to know that this part here, like, yes, it shows you a gauge, which is also useful, but if you have one of these, gently, you know, put your finger on the bottom side and you will feel how grippy it is. It's got, like, you know, little teeth that bears down on your fabric, and that's how it moves the fabric instead of your feed dogs on your machine, which you've covered up. Also, this little pointy bit here, it tells you where your needle is going to be, um, where your eyelet or your buttonhole is going to be being made. Also, so this here, I'm using the eyelet, so it's W for wide and N for narrow. So I have it set all the way onto the left here, all the way wide, to give me as good of a wide of a zigzag as it can. All right. So first things first is I'm not aiming for any particular point. This fabric is doubled up. It is basically just a, I think it's like a linen cotton blend. So I lowered my presser foot. I'm gonna take the balance wheel and go around just once. And I'm going to pull up a thread here. Come on. There we go. All right, and so you kind of want to hold these out of the way. I get that there's some people are so skilled with these that they manage to get their threads caught under their buttonhole or their eyelet. I'm not that good yet. Maybe eventually. But here, let's go ahead and make an eyelet. So I'm going to start by spinning the balance wheel of the machine in order to guide my feet into a rhythm. So that is roughly 2 rounds. So I'm going to lift that up and pull it out. I'm going to grab my snips. And I'm just going to trim them. And so there's your eyelet, and it went 2 rounds through the gear. I could do 3. It looks a little bit more solid, but that's actually pretty brilliant, right? Like, you know, in a 120-year-old sewing machine and a buttonholer from the 1940s, and it makes more beautiful buttonholes and, you know, than my modern regular machines do. And it makes eyelets now that none of my other machines do, which is flippin' fantastic. Here, let's go ahead and do another one. And I'm going to change the angle of the camera for you so you can see a little bit better. So I'll go right there. Lower the foot. Let's change this for you just a little bit and see if I can both treadle and hold the camera steady at the same time. Let's give it a try. Here we go. We'll do 3. There we go. So that's an eyelet with 3 rounds done. I'll go ahead and put you back down. So now I need my hands again. And so that's the second one. Pretty cool, right? So on the back side. Yeah. If I go ahead and just trim the tails up just a little, which, you know, it's not like it's going to come undone or anything. And there you go. Eyelets. Like, that's absolutely great. And I'm so excited to have the ability to do these on the machine now. Because last time I needed to do eyelets, I did them by hand, which I mean, you know, hand sewing, it doesn't kill me or anything, but it is certainly time consuming. This is not the first test that I did. This fabric, I actually tested it on first so I could figure out what I was doing. And this is like a thicker, like upholstery weight fabric. So, you know, I tested this one here is on just one thickness of it, and then this one was on 2 thicknesses of it. It actually looks nicer on a thicker fabric, which is amazing. And then just because I could, I went and tried one of the other cams. This is the one that I had left in, I think this might be the one that I took out earlier for you, but it's a keyhole style buttonhole made by the same machine. And, you know, is all you have to do to get something like this is just to, instead of having, you know, put the eyelet in it, you put one of these guys in it instead. So that's the 1 1/16 keyhole can. So yeah, if you have a low shank machines, and, you know, these guys will work on most low shank machines. I am primarily making this video to show that yes, they can work with treadle machines. There seemed to be a little bit of a debate online on the matter. So, you know, the machine here, just to show you, for anyone who hasn't seen my other videos, you know, this is a treadle machine that I have been working on. It fits, it works, and it makes gorgeous buttonholes and eyelets. So I officially am a fan. Furthermore, you know, I have a whole bunch more different styles of feet for this machine, which I plan to make more videos about. So, you know, keep your eyes open and we'll keep on trucking. Thanks, y'all. See you later.